Hey, good morning. Janine Bolin here. I've started reading a lot of money articles in an effort to help folks kind of scan through the literature and figure out what are some things that are important, what things aren't. And in this particular video series I'll be running, I just wanted to let you guys know of things that are being bandied about and talked about and when to really pay attention and what to kind of ignore. Just a little service I'm going to offer because as you guys know, I've been in the financial business for almost 30 years now. So one of the things, when I run across an article that is well written and has points that are very appropriate, I thought I'm going to start highlighting these authors that are doing fabulous things. So the first one is Tom Presley. He is not only a CPA, certified public accountant, but he's also a certified financial planner. Now, the amount of math and the amount of training and the number of tests this guy has had to take when you have a CPA and a certified financial planning certification, that is big stuff. And so I kind of pay attention to these guys a little bit more than I do others. Now, he reworked this article from October of 2019. He updated it for May 4th. But really, these are timeless principles that he talks about, and it's the 10 money mistakes that millennials should avoid. Number one is he wanted to discuss with them, look, don't fail to consider the consequences of student loans. When we have a lot of money made available to us because of whatever situation is going on in our country, whatever is happening, it is very important to think, what does it mean to take on this loan? What strings are attached and what is going to be asked of me in my future? So as a financial coach who does not have nearly the certifications that this gentleman does, Tom Presley, I have worked with so many people who they are debt ridden. They just have so much debt. And so one of the things I like to recommend to people is it may take longer for you to get your particular degree, but figure out a way to pay for it cash if you can. Now, there are also ways that your company will pay for it, or maybe go into the military. There are other ways to avoid having to pay the amount of money that certain institutions are requiring, okay? The second one is postponing saving. If you followed me at all and you know about the 60-40 principle that I teach, and if you want, I can give you links to the 3-minute money tips where I have a video series where I walk through the 60-40 principle. Savings is the most important thing you can do to, number one, pay off your debt and to stay out of debt. See, you have to pay off your debt and increase your savings at the same time. And the 60-40 principle allows that. But that is point number 2 that is made. See, so we're talking about debt and saving. First 2 points that Tom makes in this article. The third one is ignore the financial consequences of an expensive wedding. I don't know if this is still a big thing, but please realize Hollywood weddings are a lot of times paid for and promoted by the products and services offered by wedding planners. So if you have this dream of you want a huge fancy wedding, I recommend rather than making that an event, have a costume party and rent. So those are some ideas. The expensive weddings, please realize that they are a show sometimes and they are done for our benefit. So anyhow, it depends. That's a personal preference, but I have seen people go into debt from $20,000 to $40,000 and more, but that's just the average, $10,000 to $40,000 for a wedding. I highly recommend that you don't do that. Okay, Tom then talks about mistake number 4 being that you have inadequate or in existence rainy day fund. As you know, with the 60-40 principle, we have 2 different savings accounts, long-term and short-term. And so I think that speaks for itself. Tom then goes on to talk about how you have too many credit cards. I recommend that you have 2. The first credit card is for personal, and if you have a side hack or a side business, that's what your second credit card is for. That way you don't mingle your personal and your business credit cards together like that. Having too many credit cards really causes it to affect your credit card rating. And if you need to get rid of credit cards, get rid of the newest ones first. You want the old ones, and this is a tip that comes from other financial planners like Susie Orman and David Bach, and that is you want to have the older credit cards in your wallet because they carry your history, and that helps with your planning. Okay. Mistake number 6 is buying too much car. This is where you have to be careful when people are offering you loans. Just because they say you can't afford so much loan for a car doesn't necessarily mean that is what is in your best interest for your personal daily expenses. The other one is buying too much house too soon. For millennials especially, there's a lot of pressure for you to buy a home because it's a solid investment, but see it for what it is. It's not an investment, it's an expense. And as long as you think of a house as an expense, it'll keep you out of that mindset of, well, when we get ready to sell this place, I can make money off of it. All right. So those are some sort of mindsets. Mistake number 8 is not saving enough for retirement. Again, the 60-40 principle, we talk about how you do that. So that's that long-term savings account we discuss. This one is big, and this is one that I talk a lot with financial planners about. If you are a millennial, or it doesn't really matter, if you're a mom or a dad, if you have children and you don't have a will, I would like you to make that your number one priority. Before the end of May, contact somebody, get on a Zoom meeting with them or something, and get a will hammered out. This is important if you have children. There are too many things that can happen in life, and death is one of those, right? Nobody's going to get out of life alive. I hate to be the one to tell you that, but it's just true. And to not have a will and you have children is a disservice to them. You want to be the best parent you can possibly be. You want to keep them healthy. You want to keep them safe. You want to protect them. Well, who's going to do that after you're dead, right? Now, I have had several health crises in my life. So a will was, when we first started having children, first thing I did was I already had a will in place. But anyway, it's just one of those things. You just having a will, that's an A1 priority. Even before you start working on how you're going to get out of debt or whatever, get that will. All right, mistake number 10, putting your career first. Most of the people that I work with actually want to spend more time with family. They want to, spend more time with the people that they love. And so a lot of the planning that we do is helping them create the lifestyle that they want. Most of the millennials I work with are not putting their career first. So this mistake number 10 is more Tom saying, hey guys, don't be like so many other generations ahead of you. Don't put your career first, put your life goals first. Most millennials are doing that, but I love the fact that he put that into it. So this was just a quick review on an article. You'll find links below this video. Thanks so much for listening. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Take care.